Tonight, fighting off a shark to save a young man's life. The hero who battled a predator to drag a 16-year-old to safety. A deliberately lit inferno at Leppington. Tonight, a twist as police hunt down the arsonists. Sydney in the firing line. Dangerous weather warnings for the entire east coast with a bomb cyclone about to hit. Breaking news, police launch a critical incident investigation into a scuffle with a protester that could cost her sight in one eye. The jury's out. Australia now waiting for the verdict in the mushroom murder trial. And the Blues become kings of the kids as they gear up for Origin 3.
This is 10 News Sydney with Sandra, Sully.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the heroic actions of a surfer who put his life on the line to save a teenage boy being attacked by a shark. The terrifying incident happened just metres from shore at Cabarita Beach, in northern New South Wales, where the 16-year-old was swimming with his brother when he was set upon. Tonight, the teenager has serious injuries but is expected to survive thanks to those around him.
In a split second, a peaceful afternoon swim became the holiday from hell.
Oh my God, that's the shark. That's the shark.
No, it's not.
This
Yeah,
here
yes,
that
it
is.
It would be following the blood.
Oh my God.
A 16-year-old boy from Brisbane mauled by an apex predator at Cabarita Beach.
The shark was actually pulling him under the water, and so his brother was frantically calling for help, and so people started paddling towards them.
When forced to choose between fight or flight, one young surfer became an instant hero.
I'm not going to let this boy go down.
18-year-old Jacob Atchison risking his life to save another.
I remember throwing some arms and yelling and kicking my legs. I made contact with the shark, I think. I remember some skin. And then the shark kind of backed off after that.
Joel Slade wasn't far behind, scooping up the victim's younger brother on his board.
And then I caught a wave in and got washed past him. I actually went straight over the shark.
But as Jacob and another surfer helped the shark attack victim back to shore, the threat was hot on their tail.
I believe it's a miracle that first of all he's alive and that the shark didn't eat both of us as it followed us all the way in.
Back on land by chance, an off-duty paramedic had a tourniquet, wrapping the wound while they waited for more help to arrive. It was a joint community effort to carry the boy to an ambulance before he was airlifted to hospital.
So Jacob just went and grabbed it and really clenched and stopped the bleeding. I think that saved his life, honestly.
Immediately after, a second chopper did an aerial sweep to search for the shark. And again today, the beach was closed as surf lifesavers launched drones overhead, but no one spotted a fin.
Those who live near here say while it's not uncommon to see sharks in the area, especially during the annual whale migration, they have seen more sharks more often. The last sighting just a few days ago.
This video was taken only a short distance away at Casuarina Creek.
You know that sharks are in the water, you know this sort of thing happens, but then to be in the moment and it's all unfolding behind you, in front of you, it's pretty full on.
Tiani Reid, 10 News.
Police are searching tonight for a group of arsonists who torched 3 cars and a home at Leppington early this morning. In a twist, one of the residents who fled the fire was charged with assaulting police.
Hoods up, gloves on and their faces covered. 3 figures set to wreak havoc on a family home. A trio of cars lit up not long after 2 a.m. before the flames started to spread to the Leppington house. The arsonists fled, one seen holding a bottle of what's believed to have been accelerant as the blaze took hold.
It was like a lot of bang, so we thought somebody's trying to get in. Flames were, like so high. We were a bit scared as well, like if it's coming to our home or wherever it is.
Inside the home, a family and their adult children.
Oh my God, yeah, that's very scary.
Police helped them escape over the back fence, but that's when things took another turn.
After go back to the bed and then I hearing the screaming. Why screaming? It's like, I think somebody arrested.
After fleeing the fire, 24-year-old Robin Beebe is accused of turning on police. He was granted bail at Parramatta Local Court today, accused of kicking and threatening an officer. Today you can see the damage that's been left behind by the blaze. 3 cars destroyed, while scorch marks reach all the way to the home's second story, where the windows have been blown out. Despite what they've suffered, it's understood the family aren't helping police as the search for the firebugs continues. Hannah Taylor, 10 News.
Serious weather warnings have been issued for a large part of the state as a bomb cyclone develops off the New South Wales coast. From the north to the south, people are tonight being urged to prepare for intense rain, gale force wind gusts and dangerous surf, unlike anything we have seen in years.
Early June 2007, and all eyes were on the Pasha Bulker. Wild weather and intense surf tossed the enormous cargo carrier along the New South Wales coast before it ran aground at Newcastle. The storm was triggered by an east coast low, and this week another one is set to smash the state, the first since 2022.
This is a very dynamic and fast-moving system, very different to the systems that we have seen in recent times.
Dangerous conditions are expected right across eastern New South Wales, from Coffs Harbour in the north all the way down to Bega in the south.
For Wednesday, the peak day for impacts, we're looking at those damaging winds, potential for flash flooding and coastal erosion.
Authorities are warning of possible minor flooding, particularly for southern parts of the mid-north coast and Hunter, the Hawkesbury Nepean river systems, and across Sydney and the Illawarra coast.
Widespread totals of 50 to 120 millimetres, with isolated 150 to 200 millimetres of rainfall.
Strong winds were already picking up in the state's north today, with warnings beaches will become incredibly dangerous.
Being the off-season for patrolled beaches, just be wary of the conditions.
In 2016, a powerful east coast low blasted away the Collaroy foreshore and brought down large sections of the coast, along with beachside properties.
I don't want people to be in a situation where on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday they're caught unawares.
We've been warned. Taylor Ryan, 10 News.
To our own meteorologist, Josh Holt. Now, Josh, you were forecasting this system last week. That deep low is now a bomb cyclone, and it's bringing with it some very dangerous conditions.
And Sandra, many out there may have not heard the term bomb cyclone before, but that refers to the process of bombogenesis, which is an official meteorological term. And basically, it means that a low-pressure system is strengthening in a very short period of time. At these latitudes, the criteria for that is dropping in 15 hectopascals or greater in a 24-hour period. So it's a bit like the cyclone or the low-pressure system is exploding in a way, and that's what's happening off the New South Wales coast as we go to air tonight. So let's look at the forecast modelling. Here's our low, spinning up in that clockwise formation. We're going to see some very, very strong and powerful winds, gusting at well over 100 kilometres per hour across areas of the south coast, Illawarra, Sydney and Hunter region, and you can throw in some very heavy rain as well. That will be starting to really ramp up tonight and intensifying tomorrow morning into Tuesday afternoon. Have a look at it extending right through the eastern part of the state and through the adjacent inland. Widespread rainfall totals upwards of 200 millimetres. I'm forecasting that elevated areas and coastal exposed areas could see between 300 and 400 millimetres from this system. That's going to cause river flooding and the potential for flash flooding, not to mention extensive coastal erosion and damaging surf. Offshore wave height to 13 metres, waves at our beaches at 5 to 6 metres, and we all remember the East Coast low in 2016 that decimated Collaroy. These are serious weather systems. They can be deadly in some circumstances. We're urging everyone to take care, and I have more on this coming up at 5 to 6.
Yeah, let's hope people heed the warnings. Thank you, Josh. Police are tonight looking for 10 males after a stabbing attack in Sydney's southwest. The group was captured on CCTV fleeing Yaguna Park at around 8 p.m. last night, where a 21-year-old had been stabbed multiple times in the thigh. It is believed the man was there to meet a woman before he was set upon. He was taken to Liverpool Hospital in a stable condition. A Western Sydney family has issued a heartfelt plea to the public, asking anyone who has seen their daughter, Anisha Sartik, to come forward. The 18-year-old was last seen walking along Park Road at Auburn a week ago. Police have been door-knocking through Auburn, Lidcombe and Barella. Her dad says she had been struggling with her mental health and he fears she may be disoriented.
Please find my daughter very soon.
Can you please have a look in your yards to make sure that she's not in anywhere in your property? So we've really got some grave concerns for her welfare.
Her heart is already broken. So without her, I don't know how we are going to move forward.
Anisha was last seen wearing a black jumper and black pants. Police say they will investigate their own actions, declaring a critical incident after former Greens candidate Hannah Thomas suffered an eye injury in a clash with police in Sydney's southwest. The 35-year-old has spoken from her hospital bed at Bankstown, saying the incident was a result of new laws demonising protesters.
Following the traumatic events of Friday, Hannah Thomas says she has received overwhelming support.
I'm 5'1", I weigh about 45 kilos. I was engaged in peaceful protest and my interactions with New South Wales police have left me potentially without vision in my right eye permanently.
Ms Thomas says police have been licensed to crack down on peaceful protest in extremely violent, brutal ways. She was yesterday charged with resisting police and refusing to comply with directions to disperse during a pro-Palestine protest at Belmore.
I am concerned about her injuries. I'm very sorry that they've happened.
The 35-year-old who challenged the Prime Minister for the seat of Grayndler in the recent federal election posted to Instagram from her Bankstown hospital bed.
I know that police have gone to the hospital I think 4 or 5 times to collect a statement from the person involved. She hasn't provided that statement. Now, that's her right.
Ms Thomas is one of 5 charged, but the only hospitalised.
I look like this now because of Chris Minns and Yasmin Catley and their draconian anti-protest laws.
Her lawyers say this is precisely the type of harm we caution to the court and the public. Police say laws preventing protest near places of worship were not enforced, but the protest was unlawful. Police say at this stage there's no reason to stand down the officer involved, and despite viewing the body-worn video, they won't be drawn on exactly how she sustained her injury. Police say it warrants a critical incident investigation, but for now,
I'm not aware of any misconduct by any police officers.
Ms Thomas's family have told 10 News despite the ordeal, she is in okay spirits. Sarah Naven, 10 News.
After 40 days in court, the jury in Erin Patterson's triple murder trial has retired to consider its verdict. Abby Dinham joins us now live from Morwell in Victoria. Abby, what happens now?
Sandra, the jury managed to get a couple of hours of deliberations away this afternoon, but we just got notice in the last hour that they're yet to reach a verdict, so they will continue tomorrow. The jury's been sequestered away in a hotel, meaning they can't go home until they've reached a unanimous decision on each of the counts, or it becomes apparent that they can't. So there was a ballot held just before the jury retired to reduce its number from 14 down to 12. So we've got 7 men and 5 women who will ultimately decide. Now, the judge, Justice Christopher Beale, reminded them that it is fundamental to their deliberations that Erin Patterson has the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. She's pleaded not guilty to all the charges, maintaining the deaths of 3 of her relatives and the poisoning of a 4th with death cap mushrooms that she served them in a beef Wellington dish back in July 2023 was a tragic accident. We saw this afternoon that black sheets have been put up around her property as attention really starts to intensify on this case. Now, how long the jury will take to deliberate, that's anybody's guess. So all we can do now is just wait for that verdict to be handed down in this trial that's really captured attention all around the world.
It sure has. Abby Dinham there. Keep us updated with any developments. Thank you. Tara Rushton is here now to preview tonight's sport. Tara, Origin 3 just over a week away and the teams have been finalised.
They have indeed, Sandra. And the Blues squad, they've gathered in Sydney for a special event. Last year they became known as the People's Team, and today they showed why. Hundreds of kids affected by the floods up close and personal with their heroes before New South Wales dial in for a Game 3 decider.
King of the kids, Latrell Mitchell, still on a self-imposed media ban but happy to spread the love with rugby league mad youngsters from his Northern Rivers region.
I think it's special for us to, I don't know, let those little kids out there in the bush, let them know that there is hope for them and you can do it. So, yeah, it's a bit of a full circle moment.
A coaching clinic, a welcome start to Game 3, one way to settle the nerves before a decider.
Oh, a lot of emotions, obviously. Yeah, you know, excited, anxious. Yeah, just now that we're back in camp.
And back without change, Laurie Daly entrusting the same 17 that lost Game 2 to seal the series.
From what we showed in the second half, I don't think we've reached anywhere near what we're capable of doing. So that's why I'm sort of confident that this group of players...
Several are on injury watch. Nathan Cleary is carrying a groin strain. Payne Haas yet to arrive due to back scans in Brisbane. Brian To'o, the biggest concern, with a knee injury.
I'm all good, I hope. No, I'm all good.
And then there's Jerome Luai, hospitalised with an infection last week, but mystery over exactly what caused it.
Oh, it's not a boil. It was a scratch. Brent Naden. Staph infection.
Apparently he got shot, so it's just about him getting shot. There's a big hole in his chest.
There's always a joker. Trent Simpson, 10 News.
Well, also coming up in sport, the state of the SCG surface cops an almighty spray, so will it be deemed safe ahead of the Swans v the Dolphins? Oscar Piastri survives a scare, settling for second at the Austrian Grand Prix, or the fiery fallout. And our queen of the cliffs, Rhiannon Iflin, does it again. Italy well and truly suits her, that is for sure. We'll have all the celebrations ahead, Sandra.
Thanks, Tara. We'll see you then. Still to come, the PM all smiles with apprentice tradies, but does he have the tools to build our case for a tariff exemption? Also, could Wentworth Park hold the key to getting our housing targets back on track? Buckle up, Sydney Airport braces for its busiest ever school holidays. Everything you need to know for a smooth trip. And how these rescuers netted a dolphin who lost its way, plus the latest on its release.
Hospital can be a scam. Don't let GST, pay-as-you-go withholding and super get caught up in your business cash flow. Set them aside so you're always ready to meet your tax and super obligations. Visit ato.gov.au/cashflow tips. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Are you ready to take the next step towards your future? Whether you're upskilling, reskilling, or starting fresh, CIT's hands-on training helps you build real-world skills. With the largest range of courses in one place, you'll get job-ready faster and be prepared for what's next. Apply now to study at CIT. Your future starts with the right skills.
Priceline Pharmacy's hot hair care sale is on now. Save half price on selected hair care products from Mark Anthony, Hairification, OGX and more. Hurry, sale on now at Priceline Pharmacy.
Foxtel's Very Big Deal. Explore the world's best drama. Watch AFL and NRL live in 4K Ultra HD. Everything from Netflix. And now with Max included. Search Foxtel today.
Rough cold, bro. Try Vicks Vapor Drops Extra Strong. How's the nose and throat?
Try new extra soothing Vapor Drops with real honey.
The new 2025 Mahindra XUV 700 has just been updated with black interior trim, a 7-seat car that offers 5 and 6-seat configurations, 2 10.25-inch super screens with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, 1.3-metre panoramic sunroof, AB with pedestrian detection. Don't let this offer slip away. $3,000 end of fiscal year bonus. Hurry, offer ends June 30.
Fairy place for kids. That's why Starlight exists. To bring happiness to seriously ill children. Please donate at starlight.org.au.
Good evening. The M7 motorway in a bit of a trouble for your northbound run coming up from the M4 basically through Eastern Creek right up to Richmond Road in Oakhurst. We've had a two-car collision, mostly contained now to the breakdown lane, but speed has still been dropped down to 40 k's, so it is quite a slog this evening. Also in trouble on the Hume motorway northbound Douglas Park into Menangle Park. Emergency roadworks have knocked out one of those lanes, so just a single lane is open. I'm Brittany Gorrell, thanks to the Starlight Foundation Traffic Chopper.
Australia's Foreign Minister Penny Wong is tonight on her way to Washington, D.C., where she will make the case for an exemption from Donald Trump's looming trade tariffs. Despite the visit, the Prime Minister is under growing pressure, both here and abroad, to secure a face-to-face meeting of his own.
A morning in the workshop.
All over it? Yeah, basically, yeah. Enjoying it?
Yes. As the PM tries to put his diplomatic tools to good use.
We continue to engage with our American friends.
Time is running out to secure an exemption from Donald Trump's reciprocal trade tariffs. A 90-day pause expires next week.
We're going to be sending letters out starting pretty soon, and we will say, congratulations, we're allowing you to shop in the United States of America.
A 10% so-called reciprocal tariff has been imposed on Australian goods entering the US since April. Steel and aluminium exports are also subject to a separate 50% tariff.
It shouldn't be 10, it should be 0.
We need to sell the fact that his tariffs are a bad idea.
Foreign Minister Penny Wong is expected to do so when she meets US Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Washington, D.C. this week, alongside her counterparts from Japan and India.
Well, she's got to come back with a piece of paper, which is an invitation for Mr Albanese to go to the White House.
It's a sentiment shared by two US politicians who are pushing for the PM to travel to the White House. They say there's great value in FaceTime with the president.
They've obviously had a lot of thought about it. They've sat back and they've obviously got a genuine bipartisan concern.
If Mr Albanese does secure a meeting with President Trump, he'd also be forced to confront US demands Australia significantly increase defence spending to counter growing aggression in our region. Labor has so far refused, and China is backing the move. The nation's ambassador to Australia has today warned increased military spending imposes a heavy fiscal burden.
The Chinese ambassador speaks for China. My job is to speak for Australia.
Lucy Gray, 10 News.
And we ask Prime Minister Anthony Albanese about Donald Trump tonight in an interview on 10 News Plus. Tune in straight after the news at 6. One of Australia's largest health insurance providers, Bupa, will pay $35 million in fines for misleading customers. The ACCC found the company was telling members they were not entitled to private health insurance benefits when they actually were.
This was poor behaviour, bad behaviour by Bupa. But it's being dealt with by ACCC and we're pleased about that.
Bupa's CEO has apologised, admitting it should never have happened. Sydney Airport is expecting a traveller surge in what may be its busiest winter school holiday period ever. Domestic and international terminals are gearing up for 2.6 million passengers to swarm through from now until the 20th of July. An uptick of 150,000 travellers compared to this time last year. And that's enough to fill 850 Boeing 737s. The airport will increase staffing, but as always, passengers are being urged to allow extra time. Up next, the focus of Donald Trump's peace path is back on in Gaza, so could a deal be struck soon? Plus, firefighters coming under fire in a deadly ambush. We've got those shocking details out of the US next. And Houston, we have a problem. Beyoncé's hometown concert comes to a halt after this mid-air stunt scare.
Terry White Chemmart has real deals on all your favourite brands like Swiss Ultiboost Zinc Plus, Bioglan Red Grill Oil and Oral-B IO3 electric toothbrush. Get real deals every day at Terry White Chemmart, dedicated to care.
There's a moment when a young girl turns into a woman. It's complicated and not just pretty.
Our goal was to be a good wife and mother.
What more is there?
I'm not sure you understand. Some people want more.
Do I sense rebellion in our midst?
Let me be my own person.
This is how it starts. I'm building their future. Nothing can go wrong. Not now.
The Gilded Age. New season. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
To amuse you is my only wish.
Gladiator 2 is an absolute triumph. And now streaming on Paramount Plus.
The odds are against you.
The odds are always against me.
It's an epic spectacle and ferociously entertaining.
I'm just here for the games.
Strength and honor.
Strength and honor.
Gladiator 2, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Got some breaking news. Please welcome the amazing Sandra Sully!
When Sandra takes on the deal,
Does it help if I don't look?
it will all come down to 2 cases.
There's a 50% chance you got $100 grand in there!
And one of them has $100,000.
Please! Inside case 10!
Sandra's $100,000 gamble, 7 p.m. tonight.
Watch and stream free.
Katy Perry has snuck into NASA. Well,
This week, the laughs will skyrocket when Kitty, Guy and Ursula join Ed and Sam on Have You Been Paying Attention? Tonight on 10.
Watch and stream free. You can't get past these super sniffers.
The dogs have reacted to the luggage of a couple of travellers.
Sir, put your bag down on the floor and wait, please. Just wait, please. Just, excuse me.
Thames Airport, Thursday.
Watch and stream free.
A gunman suspected of setting a trap, killing 2 firefighters and wounding several others, has been found dead near his weapon. The crews were lured to the area by a deliberately lit blaze burning on a property in the foothills of mountains near the Washington state border in Idaho. As they fought the flames, they were fired upon, with 2 killed and at least 1 other left in a critical condition. Police believe that the suspect may have been killed during a shootout with officers, but they would not confirm his identity or suspected motive at this point. With the ceasefire between Iran and Israel appearing to hold, attention is turning back towards Gaza. There is fresh hope tonight that a deal to end the war is inching closer, even as the IDF prepares for a widened offensive.
Forced to move again. Palestinians in Gaza shifting their suffering to a different part of the Strip after the IDF ordered residents in 17 areas to evacuate ahead of what it calls intensifying military activity. Renewed Israeli attacks killed dozens of people over the weekend, including 5 members of the same family. We woke up to the sound of airstrikes, this mother says. It felt like something was electrocuting us. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza, triggered by the brutal war which has now raged for almost 2 years, is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore, even for world leaders who are providing weapons to Israel. After ending the conflict between Israel and Iran, Donald Trump wants this fighting to stop within the next week, demanding make the deal in Gaza, get the hostages back. Benjamin Netanyahu insists his priority is bringing captives home, but says, we also need to resolve the issues of Gaza to defeat Hamas. Mediators are working to secure a ceasefire, but many Palestinians are sceptical it is even possible after so many false starts and shattered promises. John Paul Gonzo, 10 News.
Russia has launched its largest air attack so far in its war in Ukraine, firing hundreds of drones and dozens of missiles at western parts of the country. Almost all the drones were intercepted, but several missiles hit residential areas, damaging apartment buildings and trapping residents inside. Seemingly in opposition to Vladimir Putin's recent calls for peace talks, his forces have dramatically increased their attacks. Beyoncé has had a rough ride at her latest Cowboy Carter concert, having to briefly halt her Houston performance when a prop threatened to fall onto the crowd. As you can see, she was floating in a hot pink Cadillac when the tilt just got a little too much, and then it started to sway. Beyoncé abruptly stopped singing as her team scrambled to lower her to safety. Stop. It was only for a few minutes before the Grammy winner returned to the stage and then thanked fans for their patience. Queen Bee has 9 concerts left before wrapping up in Las Vegas. Still to come, SeaWorld rescuers pull off the ultimate catch of the day. Plus, why Wentworth Park could be in the Premier's sights as the race to find new housing options heats up. And Aussie Oscar Piastri has to settle for second after a few close calls on track.
Hospital can be a scary.
Kim Kardashian was robbed at gunpoint.
Uncover the shocking details of what really happened that night.
The first time that this glamorous life turned around and bit her.
8:30 Thursday on 10 or stream it right now. It's a MasterChef Air Fryer Spectacular.
You have to push the air fryer to the max.
Mouth-watering masterpieces you never thought possible.
He's just a genius.
7:30 tonight on 10.
Watch and stream free.
She has a new nickname that she wants to go by, Pork Chop Samurai.
I'd be Rack of Lamb Sensei. You?
I'd go eggplant palmy friend.
The Cheap Seats, Tuesday on 10.
Watch and stream free.
Binge every spellbinding episode of Chill Out for free.
What are we? Magical.
You're the charmed ones.
We've got some work to do.
Stream free on 10 Play.
Place for kids. That's why Starlight exists. To bring happiness to seriously ill children. Please donate at starlight.org.au.
Good evening. In Norwest, we've had a bus breakdown and diesel spill on Windsor Road, southbound at Norwest Boulevard. Crews are on site with a bus. It is in the bus lane and the spill has mostly been taken care of. Heaviest traffic, though, moving through the area is for northbound motorists coming up Windsor Road from Balcombe Hills. The M7 motorway, that's still in recovery northbound from the M4 to Richmond Road after an earlier crash. And we've got emergency roadworks slowing the Hugh motorway north in Menangle Park. I'm Brittany Gorrell, thanks to the Starlight Foundation Traffic Chopper.
The future of Wentworth Park Greyhound Racetrack remains up in the air as the state government weighs up multiple options for the site. The potential for new housing and open space isn't being dismissed, with the decision likely before the end of the year.
From the first sod turn in late 2022 to a royal visit 2 years later, the finishing touches...
That's fantastic. I love the feature wall.
...are now finally being applied to this major social housing project in Glebe, an uplift in density that has turned 19 dwellings into 75.
We have thousands of people on our waiting list who have been crunched by the private housing market.
Open to ideas to relieve that crunch, part of the solution could be just next door, Wentworth Park, where the Greyhound racing lease expires in September 2027.
We have to make a decision about the site. One hasn't been taken yet.
The Premier refusing to be drawn when I asked whether it's part of his so-called Plan B after the Rose Hill housing plan was rejected.
Not necessarily, but I'll be in a position where I'm ruling things in and out, and then eventually you'll hit the nail on the head and I'll be furious with myself. So I'm not going to play that game.
A decision is due by the end of the year. It's not the only announcement that's highly anticipated. Leading charities and social service organisations were left disappointed that last week's state budget didn't include new money for alcohol and drug treatment services. A joint statement from 6 major groups declaring much more is needed to address the gaps in treatment.
We're just not seeing enough timely action from government.
While an official response to December's drug summit is being finalised, care groups say the consensus was clear.
Small-minded thinking won't serve us at this time. People are dying now.
Lachlan Kennedy, 10 News.
An Australian mother of 5 jailed for drug smuggling in Taiwan is declaring her innocence from behind bars. In tonight's first 10 News Plus, Debbie Vulgaris speaks from her prison cell where she is serving a 16-year sentence for importing 7 kilograms of heroin and cocaine.
My name is Debbie Vulgaris. I have 5 beautiful angels. I'm the proudest mother in the world right now. They're fighting for me. I'm innocent. I am innocent.
In tonight's program, Denham Hitchcock reveals the evidence showing how she was set up to become an unwitting drug mule. He speaks exclusively to her family, her lawyer in Taiwan, and is on the trail of the man who sent her overseas. And just a reminder, 10 News Plus airs tonight at 6 o'clock. A marine rescue team has pulled off a remarkable operation to save a dolphin in distress. It involved a dedicated team swimming, then, believe it or not, hiking to give the animal a second chance.
In the calm waters of Brunswick Heads, a bottlenose dolphin breaks through the surface.
Just in front of me.
He's been there for more than a day and a half, trapped in the shallow waters, unable to reach the sea. Time is running out.
A bit of a human chain towards the southern banks.
Its rescue team, made up of SeaWorld, Rangers and Orca members, wade through the water with a stretcher in tow. And when the animal is cornered, it became much more physical. A rescuer makes a leap at the dolphin and misses, but the effort put the mammal in range of the rest of the team. They all rush in and the dolphin is subdued. Then it's time for a quick checkup from a vet. The bottlenose remaining calm. Minutes later, good news arrives.
That second blood was much better. No free fluid, fish in his stomach, so he's been eating, good body condition, no ocular disease, let's race.
The mission moving to 4 wheels with careful monitoring. Before a trek through the forest, a dolphin on a bushwalk. The final leg of the rescue, deeper water at Christmas Beach.
Ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, drop the bar down and slide him out.
He's free and ready to roam. Mission complete. Brendan Smith, 10 News.
It's a good story. Stick around, sport is next, and coming up, the Origin squads are in. Plus, don't let the 1-1 scoreline fool you while the Matildas are back on track.
Good evening. The Blues head into a Game 3 decider at home with several players on injury watch. Payne Haas hasn't even arrived to camp as he deals with a back complaint, but Laurie Daly is beaming with confidence about his unchanged side doing the job.
Back in camp and wasting no time before checking into the team hotel, some Blues were on the training track, spotted from afar beginning preparations for a blockbuster decider, then mixing it with flood-affected kids from the Northern Rivers. A reminder who they play for.
If you'd ever asked me if I was ever going to be in this situation, I would have said you're mad. I was obviously hopeful, but would have thought you're mad. So to sort of be living out my childhood dream, it's been outstanding.
You know what's at stake. You just get anxious because you're excited about what the possibilities are. You're nervous.
Daly has plenty of sleepless nights ahead. Hammer time is already giving him nightmares as the Maroons handed Hamiso Tabuai Fido the fullback jersey.
What he did on the weekend was outstanding, and that's the thing that scares me is his raw speed. If you don't present a line to Hamiso Tabuai Fido, then he just cuts you up.
Just knowing that I'm going to have the number 1 on my back, it's a pretty special feeling, and I'm excited.
Laurie's stoked to see Josh Papali'i back in Maroon, but the pleasantries have a line between Raiders legends.
I can't cheer for him this week, though. I've been cheering for him for the last 10 years, only when he plays for the Raiders, of course.
While Billy makes bold calls once again, the Blues have kept the pick-and-stick mentality. Brian To'o carrying a knee injury, presenting the only major concern.
I always back myself whether I'm injured or not, whether I've got little niggles or not. I always back myself to be ready throughout the whole week.
Trent Simpson, 10 News.
Well, no one is writing off the Roosters this Origin window, with the Tricolours again missing 5 players as they host West Tigers. They haven't missed a beat, winning before both previous rep games.
We're just still building on who we are and how we play footy, but I feel like the last month or so we've been pretty consistent and pretty happy with how we've been playing, so now it's time to string some more wins together and really go after the top of the table.
The Roosters have only lost to the Tigers once in the last 13 years. And the expanded 12-team NRL women's competition kicks off this week for its 8th year, including 33 doubleheaders plus their first Magic round. The Bulldogs joined the competition with the Warriors back in the fold.
Going full time, more teams, longer seasons, and just the pathway for the next generation just looks bright.
More teams, more players, more fans, more excitement, more football. An extra week of final series, do or die.
The first hit out is on Thursday night when the Sharks take on the Eels. Concerns ahead of the Swans' clash against Fremantle at the SCG on Sunday, with Dockers coach Justin Longmuir fearing the surface is unsafe to play on. The turf criticised during Sydney's showdown with the Western Bulldogs last Friday, with plenty of rain forecast in coming days.
We can't put players out there and risk their safety if the ground's not right. And I thought it was a bit unsafe the other night, especially down the left-hand side.
The Giants could be without Jesse Hogan for their game against West Coast as he struggles with soreness. Well, the scoreboard didn't show it, but the Matildas have put together an improved performance against Slovenia, playing out a 1-1 draw. The Tillies' possession-based game taking shape as they turn their attention to their next two friendlies against Panama.
It's an obsession with possession, and for 60% of the game, the Tillies were in control. That's until a time-on Slovenian strike.
Smashed into the back of the net by Slovenia, their first ever goal against Australia.
It definitely felt like we were taking more care with the possession, moving the ball with a bit more purpose and keeping the ball, less of those sloppy turnovers we saw the other night.
The early congratulations moments before the equaliser, short-lived as the Tillies were unable to bank their second win. But coach Joey Montemuro remained positive, their execution of game plan far superior than Thursday's 3-0 victory.
The result should have been the other way. I think the other day should have probably been 1-1 and tonight should have probably been a little bit more.
Versatility, also a hallmark of Montemuro's new style of play. Defender Ellie Carpenter's overlap into the attack, assisting Michelle Heyman to open the scoring.
A really intelligent ball inside to find Carpenter and an even better finish. And it is from none other than Michelle Heyman.
As soon as she put her heads up, I was staring into her eyes deeply. It was kind of funny. And it was a really good ball. It was easy for myself to be able to put that one away.
The coach to continue to explore his lineup against Panama as 7 new squad members arrived to fill the void of some of the departing stars, including Kyra Cooney-Cross, Alana Kennedy, Ellie Carpenter and Mackenzie Arnold. Ashley Nelson, 10 News.
The Formula One season has gone from bad to worse for Max Verstappen, whose Austrian Grand Prix ended on the opening lap when he was taken out by Kimi Antonelli. It means he's now 61 points behind championship leader Oscar Piastri, who had to be content to finish behind Lando Norris in a McLaren 1-2.
Norris wins the Austrian Grand Prix. McLaren 1-2.
Carlos Sainz and Williams had a shocker. His race ended with his car on fire after the formation lap. Rihanna Niflin said, "Hold my crown," then reclaimed it in trademark fashion with her 43rd win from 60 World Tour events in cliff diving. The undisputed GOAT making it look effortless from 21 metres for her 9th win in a row in Italy.
Finished on top again, so I'm super excited. But, 9 wins out of 10 competitions, I think I have to come back and go for that 10th.
The biggest splash this fearless Aussie makes is in the celebrations. It's unanimous from our judges. Sandra, Rhiannon scores our player of the day. Fantastic news for the Aussies, for Rhiannon, and for Molly Picklum, absolutely dominating in Rio, showing the world why she is on the waves, world number 1.
Way to go, Molly. All right, Thanks, Tara. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay with us. A bomb cyclone is coming our way. And Josh is back with all you need to know to prepare for it.
Terry White Chemmart has real deals on all your favourite brands like Swiss Ultiboost Zinc Plus, Bioglan Red Grill Oil and Oral-B IO3 Electric Toothbrush. Get real deals every day at Terry White Chemmart, dedicated to care.
Foxtel's very big deal. Get AFL and NRL live in 4K Ultra HD. World-class drama plus Max for $60 a month on a 12-month plan. Offer ends June 30.
on the very first 10 News Plus.
An Aussie mum's plea from behind bars in Taiwan. In a world exclusive, we have the evidence showing how Debbie Vulgaris was set up.
And we'll grill the Prime Minister. See you at 6.
Good evening. An East Coast low developing off the New South Wales coast as we go to air tonight. We are referring to this as a bomb cyclone. There's a few people that are getting their britches in a knot online about this. Bomb cyclone is actually an official meteorological term. It refers to the process of bombogenesis, and that's when a low gets very strong in a short period of time. Now, the requirement at these latitudes is that it drops 15 hectopascals or greater in a 24-hour period. This one's going to drop more than 20, so it classifies as bombogenesis, therefore a bomb cyclone. So let's take you through it. Here we go. Here's the low developing through the trough of low pressure sitting off the New South Wales coast as we go to air tonight. We are expecting these winds to really ramp up over the next few hours, damaging to destructive gusts, possibly exceeding 125 kilometres per hour. So that's the equivalent to around about a Category 2 tropical cyclone. So this is not a weather system to be sneezed at. It needs to be taken seriously, and they can be deadly in some circumstances. The other feature, of course, will be the heavy rain lashing parts of the New South Wales coast and adjacent inland. Now, we're looking at widespread rainfall totals of around about 200 millimetres, but I'm forecasting in the coastal exposed areas and those elevated parts probably around about 300 to 400 millimetres in some areas. That will be enough to cause riverine flooding and flash flooding in built-up areas, which can catch people off guard. So probably staying off the road is a good idea as we get across the next couple of days, if you can do so. Let's look at the season swells, a big feature of East Coast low. We all remember the Pasha Bulka back in 2007, washing ashore at Nobby's Beach in Newcastle. We're expecting significant offshore wave heights of 13 metres, around about 5 to 6 metres at our beaches. That could cause substantial beach erosion like we saw in 2016 at Collaroy on the northern beaches. Sydney, looking at that wet weather tomorrow. Sunny skies in Brisbane. We're looking at showers developing in Melbourne. It's going to be wet, it's going to be windy, and we're going to see some very hazardous coastal conditions over the next 24 to 48 hours. If you can stay away from the beaches, probably a good idea. It's going to be extremely wet as we get through tomorrow. Offshore conditions, forget about it. Leave the boat on the trailer. You won't even get outside Sydney Heads as we get through Tuesday and Wednesday. 16 degrees, the top for the city tomorrow. Now, the good news is we're expecting the rain to ease on Thursday. We're back to sunny skies Friday, so it's very much the next 24 to 48 hours, Tuesday and Wednesday, when we'll see the worst conditions across the New South Wales coast and the Sydney region.
All right, thank you, Josh. That is the news for now. This Monday, the 30th of June, I'm Sandra Sully, as always. Thanks for your company tonight. Now stand by right now for 10 News Plus with Denham Hitchcock and Amelia Brace from the team. Stay well. We'll see you tomorrow.